Time for some scary facts about climate change. This is from the Washington Post. Arctic temperatures soar 45 degrees above normal, flooded by extremely mild air on all sides. So here's how insane this is. Right now, it's Arctic winter, which means that the sun set in October and it won't be seen again until March. So it is perpetual night right now. But even with it being perpetual night, it's still above freezing. You don't even have any sun, and it's above freezing. Wow. So on the opposite end of North America, it's a record high of 31 degrees right now, which is 40 degrees above normal. Almost 1/3 of the ice covering the Bering Sea off Alaska's west coast vanished in just over a week during the middle of February. That's the lowest on record by a long shot. Homes along the Bering Sea are currently getting hammered by waves. There's supposed to be ice there that blocks all this, but no, the ice is gone, so now homes on the Bering Sea are getting walloped by waves. Temperatures over the entire Arctic, north of 80 degrees latitude, have averaged about 10 degrees above normal since the beginning of the calendar year. That's 10 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's about 6 degrees Celsius. And get this, now you can sail a boat through areas you never could have this time of year. Oh, man. So this is yet another example of worse than the worst case scenario. We see that a lot. We see the articles of like, oh, this is worse than the worst case scenario. We've seen that a lot. We've seen researchers go, holy shit, we really got to pay attention to this because this is worse than the worst case scenario. But no, we're still, our government is still doing the bidding of the oil companies and the fossil fuel companies, and we're allowing more pollution now than ever before with the EPA under Scott Pruitt, a climate science denier and an evolution denier. Trump pulled us out of the Paris Climate Agreement, which when I tell you the Paris Climate Agreement is the bare minimum of what could have been done. Literally every other country on earth signed on to the Paris Climate Agreement. We're the only one that didn't. We're the only one that were like, okay, we're not going to do this. So that was the bare minimum. We're not even doing the bare minimum. And now we get stories like this all the time, totally ignored. You want to talk about scandals that the media should be screaming about from the top of their lungs? Here you go. If they replaced half of the Russia coverage with climate science coverage, we might actually get something done on climate science. But no, they're too busy shrieking about Russia and Trump's a Manchurian candidate and Stormy Daniels and all this nonsense. So I need the media to talk about this. I need the Democrats to hammer away on this because they're so far gone. So half of the politicians in Washington don't even believe in climate science. That's the Republicans. The other half believes in climate science, but they're not doing shit about it. That's the Democrats. They just sit around. I believe the right things, but I will proceed to not fight for the right things or do anything. Well, then that's a recipe for perpetual disaster. And God help our grandkids and our great-grandkids, because shit is already bad right now. Imagine what it's like in 100 years. I mean, we're already seeing it. Cape Town, South Africa, running out of water. Day zero is approaching. That's what they call it. What we really need is 100% renewable energy ASAP. Now, we can do it. We can do it. But it is going to be a gigantic transition and pain in the ass, and you need all hands on deck, all systems go in order to try to get this thing done.